Are you looking to make a fortune playing basketball overseas? Think again. If you think you're going to get those nice cribs, get the nice car, get all the luxuries where you see guys on Instagram, I'm playing in Dubai, I'm playing here. Well, in this episode, we're going to give you 5 reasons why you probably will never move up to that caliber of money playing overseas basketball.
What are you thinking? Yeah. What are you thinking? Yeah. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah. What are you thinking? Hey. What are you thinking? Hey. If you wanna know my thoughts, open your ears when I talk. Yeah.
Welcome to another edition of the Arnold's Thoughts Podcast. It's your boy Arnold. I help athletes all over the world get ready for playing basketball overseas, whether that's mentally, physically, emotionally. If you want to play overseas basketball, if that is your dream, that is your passion, then this is the place for you. Before we get started, make sure you guys like, make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you guys keep following and sharing this with someone so we can get every athlete out there ready for this overseas life. In this episode, we're going to talk about 5 reasons why you'll probably never move up, or you probably might not even make it past your first country. Let's get into it. Reason number 1, you must have good stats and efficiency. Now, what do I mean by good stats and efficiency? I mean, you can't just be out there putting up 20, 30 shots a game. Too many athletes these days, they come overseas and they think that, you know what, I'm finna just come out here and kill. That's the saying that we always like to use. I'm finna come out here and kill. I'm finna come out here and put on, and I'm finna go drop and get buckets. I'm finna be the guy. I'm finna come down here and put up as much shots as I want and be shooting 35% from the field. It's not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen. People, the world that we live in today is so statistical. There is stats driven, numbers driven. What are the numbers? What is the stats? What is this efficiency? There is a stat now. It's like your plus minus. I believe since 2020, since I started playing, every time they put the player of the game, it doesn't be the person who has the most points, because normally every time you watch the game, it's always the person with the most points who normally gets player of the game. Strictly talking about from overseas, from about 2020 when I started playing. They didn't really have this before 2020. It's like after 2021, After 2021, when the season started, I started playing again, and I started realizing this all over when I see other guys post their stats, post their how much they when they get an MVP, they put the plus minus up there. They put the plus minus of their efficiency in the game. I just played a game last night. I had 13 points, 15 rebounds. I had a teammate that had 15 points. I had another one who had 16 points, and I had another one who had 20. But my plus minus was higher than everyone, and I guess it was the double and the 15 rebounds that made my plus minus, and the 3 steals, you know. But you focus so much on points and not the efficiency and how you affect the game. That's the whole point. How do you affect the game? Your efficiency level. You can't just be out here just putting up shots. And I wanted to break something down real quick. Like I'm gonna get into it because most guys don't really understand what are good stats. What are good stats? And I did some research. I had a guy that was on our team last time, and he put me on. He gave me some real good information on just the overseas basketball and the statistical breakdown of country by country. And we broke down just the number of minutes played by imports in a country, the number of points that an average player plays in a country. And I think this is just a misconception. I don't know what is this big misconception that so many players put on this facade. What is this facade that we keep putting on that we're just out here going for 25 a night? You're not. You're not going that. Now, some players in some leagues might be going crazy and putting on 25, but those are scoring leagues. That does not happen on the average. That's not the average. I'm going to give you all some statistical breakdown. This is literally from FIBA, from like the head ups. Like I got this information, I've been doing my research. I got a little inside scoop. Someone passed me some information that I have to share with you guys just to give y'all an understanding of what it really means to be efficient. What are the realistics? Like how many shots you really think you're going to get? Last night I took 12 shots. I talked to my homeboy. He took 8 shots. That's normal. You're not going to be up here putting up 25 shots a game. I don't know where guys get this. I'm going to just come out here and I'm just finna go ham. And I'm just finna no. Especially, that's one thing that I learned later on in my career, because I played in the league in Colombia and there was a lot of guys. It was a scoring league. It was short, but it was a scoring league. So you're probably putting up 22, 23 points, not even points, shots per game. Moving over, I've seen the games just slowly start changing. Guys got to be more efficient. You got to be shooting above 50% from the 2 minimum. 35, 33, that's not really. I'm 42, 43. It's got to be up in those range, up in the high 40s in your percentage, because you're getting limited shots. So you have to be efficient with those shots that you take and efficient with the shots that you make. If you're not out there making shots, you're not going to get the money that you want because you're not efficient on the court. You're not going to get 20 shots a game. It's not going to happen. You're not going to get 20 shots a game. If you're not getting 20 shots a game, how can you be effective with the 7 shots, 8 shots that I'm getting a game? Can I go 4 for 8? Can I go 7 for 9? Can I go 4 or 5? Can I go 6 or 6 from the free throw line? That's 17, 18 points right there, just like that. It's your efficiency. Now, on the stats that I was looking at, right? Argentina, I'm going to use Argentina because I'm here. In the first division, Argentina, the average amounts of points from an American player is 11.6. That's the base average. Now, this was a statistical stat of not last year, because they still working on the last year, but up until 2021, 2022, the statistical average, it hasn't changed just overnight, still about the same. The average American player that comes over and plays, let's just get Argentina for example. The base average for all Americans combined points from Americans is 11.6. Now there are also other non-American imports. The base average for them are 8 points a game. For the imports, it's 7.4. So you're looking at, on a good team, an average team, the average base is 11.6 points per game. So right around 12 points a game. I'm telling you right now, if you go on Latin Basket, I just went on Latin Basket, right? That's where you can go and look up all the teams. You can look at the rankings. You can look at the stats. You can look at the name of the team. You can look at where they're at in the season. You can look at the player with the most points, the most rebounds. The leading scorer of the league right now is averaging 17.7 points per game. 17.7 points per game. Not 20, not 25, not 23. So that means you have to be very efficient in the time you get. Speaking on time, do you know the base average of time that an American plays on average? What's up, guys? I just dropped my new ebook, 6 must-have steps to be an overseas basketball player. You know, I've been playing for the last 9 years. I got all the steps and the traits that you need to start your journey with networking, with getting a mentor, all the things that you need to start your journey to be a protege. So go get that ebook, click the link in the bio, and make sure you get your steps to being that overseas pro one day. Let's go. It's 20.7 points per game. So literally in an overseas basketball game, most overseas basketball games are in 40-minute time, 10 minutes a quarter. You're only playing half the game. That's the base average time that an American is playing. In a whole, some teams might have players that are going to play more time, of course. But in a whole, the average player is playing 20.7, 20 minutes, 20.7, 21 minutes a game. So you have to be very efficient in that time that you do, and in that time that you have. If you want to scale up, if you want to get to this money, you got to start working on your efficiency. How do we work on being more efficient? You work on being more efficient by being more quality, having more quality in your work that you put in. Instead of saying I'm going to the gym and I was in the gym for 2 hours, 3, listen. Pros don't spend that much time in the gym, but the time in the gym spent is quality time. I don't have to be in there 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I can be in there hour and 10, hour and 15 and get great work, quality work. I hit my spots. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm going to. Understanding the game. I believe that's one of the big, you have to understand the game, understand where you're going to get your shots. Do you know where you're going to get your shots? I've been playing for 9 years and it does not change. 95% of the teams that I've played on, my shots come from the same place. 95% of the time, my shots gonna come from the same place. So you have to know where your spot's at. Being and having more quality work. Melo said he used to go to the gym for 1 hour, put 1 good hour in, and then he's out. You're talking about a Hall of Famer. So it's not just my words. This is what literally Melo is using for how he works out. So that lets you know you have to take, because it's more about taking care of your body, the workout that you're doing. You're playing all these games. It's so physical, and it's just your body is just a tool that you're using to play this game. So you got to make sure that you're fine tuning. Being in the gym in the weight room is more important than really on the court, because you got to last, making it to playoffs, making a deep run. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and wherever you listen to your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.